Good girl, Harry said, tying Elsie's lead to the hook outside the small tea shop. I won't be long, don't you worry. Elsie looked at her with big brown eyes, and Harry sighed before getting a treat out of her pocket. You know, you're definitely putting on weight. Golden retrievers aren't known for their svelte figures. You could stand losing a pound or two. Elsie cocked her head to one side, and Harry relented, handing over the treat. I really won't be long, she promised. She checked up and down the street. No sign of anyone that looked like a dog robber, and the road was quiet enough for London. The sun was out, Elsie had shade, there was a bowl of water and a sign that said doggy parking, so she shouldn't feel too guilty. Which didn't stop her tossing Elsie another treat before she pushed her way into the tea shop. Inside, it was fussy and fancy, and there were enough frills that Harry felt her allergies start acting up. She sneezed and then realized that the flowers she was standing next to were real. Hurriedly, she took a step away and scanned the room. No sign of him. Typical Gabe, she thought, as she made her way to a small table as far away as possible from the flowers by the entrance. A year and 2 months gone by, and he's still going to be late. She settled herself down, pulling the menu over and going through it. Also typical Gabe, going for the priciest place he thought he could get away with. Mind you, he'd be paying the bill. He always did. Another thing that was typical Gabe. It was hard to be cross with him when he was an absolute gentleman. She ran her eyes over the menu again. A pot of tea would do nicely. The slice of Bakewell tart looked tempting. But Gabe would definitely pick up the tab, and she wasn't going to order extras. That wasn't fair. What can I get you today? Harry hadn't noticed the shadow fall over the table. Now she looked up, ready to make her order, and practically fell into big blue eyes. The waitress smiled a little and had a dimple, and her hair curled on her forehead from the heat. And Harry had to say that she thought this might just be the prettiest woman she'd seen all day. She opened her mouth, and nothing came out. Madam? Asked the waitress, perfect brow furrowing. Oh, well? Harry fumbled with the menu, unable to look away from the disaster that was rapidly unfolding and that she was taking part in. She'll take a pot of tea and a slice of Bakewell tart, said a voice from behind the waitress. In fact, make that 2. Gabe! Harry sighed in relief. Harry! The waitress hurried off, and there he was, tall and broad-shouldered, with his twinkling blue eyes and his immaculately ruffled dark hair, and Harry practically threw herself into his arms. Steady on there, Harry. I'm not back from the dead. You do know that this is the longest we've ever gone without seeing each other? She demanded, releasing him and letting him sit down.